Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christopher. I hope everyone is having a safe and happy holidays. We got the new year coming up in just a couple of days, so that means it's time for another top 10 Star Wars Funko Pops, this time for the year 2024. And this year, we did get quite a few new Star Wars Funko Pops. We didn't get as many as last year, not nearly as many as 2023, but we did still get some really solid Star Wars Funko Pops, especially with that Skeleton Crew wave that I just reviewed on the channel. Definitely check those out. The links will be in the description below for you. So how I like to do my top 10 Star Wars Funko Pops for every year, I like to obviously, one, have them Funko Pops that were released during that year. So this year, they had to be released in 2024. Two, they have to be something that I own in my collection. So unfortunately, as much as I would like to have it on the list, I don't have it in my collection yet. The Season 4 Ezra with the handout using the Force from that Season 4 finale of Rebels. That one, the Ahsoka the White from the Ahsoka series, the Ezra in the Stormtrooper disguise, the Night Trooper disguise from also the Ahsoka series. Those three would be on my list for sure if I had them in my collection. Also the Praetorian Guard, the Amazon exclusive. That was one that I didn't pick up yet. So hopefully this year, maybe that'll be on my list of ones to get this year. But they have to be something that I have in my collection. So all of the ones that I have, I will show you in person because they are in my collection. And then I think that's it. I think those are the only stipulations I have when I make these videos. So without further ado, let's jump into the Funko Pop in 10th spot, which is number 699 from the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace wave, ObiWan Kenobi. And I had to put this guy on here because this is the first Padawan ObiWan Kenobi that we got as a standard pop. We did get the Duel of the Fates deluxe pops where you could put the Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Qui-Gon and Maul fighting as the Duel of the Fates. But I prefer to keep the list just to standard regular pops, the regular, non-deluxe pops. So ones that don't come on the big boxes and stuff like that. So I keep them to the standard pops. But this guy is, like I said, the first Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi that we both got. And if you checked out my review, this guy is just incredibly detailed. As you will see with most of the pops on my list is because of the detail on them. Stance-wise, this one's great as well. But he's on this list mostly because the very first Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi Funko Pop that we got in standard size format. So that is Obi-Wan in number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, and this one might surprise you on how low it is. It's my favorite character, Darth Maul, and this one is from the Dark Side series. This is number 740 in the series of Star Wars Funko Pops. And yes, there is another 740. The hologram, the glow-in-the-dark hologram version of this one. Same pose, same number, everything. Details are the same. I chose to have this one on the list just because when I think of Darth Maul, again, who is my favorite character from Star Wars, I think of him with the black and red face tattoos and the yellow Sith eyes. So that's why I picked this guy for this one. But between the two of them, it's still a tough decision to pick which one I like most because the glow-in-the-dark hologram version is movie accurate to Solo a Star Wars Story because he is in hologram form. This guy, the pose isn't movie accurate, but like I said, I just when I think of Darth Maul, I think of the red and black face and then the yellow eyes. So that's why he's coming in at number 9 on my list. And the details on this guy, if you haven't seen the review on this guy, go check that out. But this one, very nicely detailed, especially in the fabrics, which Funko has gotten extremely good at, especially when you get to stuff like the Skeleton Crew wave that just released a little while ago. Those are probably the most detailed Star Wars Funko Pops that I've ever seen. Coming in at number 9, Darth Maul, number 740. Coming in at number 8 is one of the only 2 exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con that we got as far as Star Wars Funko Pops go. One was that Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka series, and that one's a good pop. I really do like that one. It's a good replacement pop for that other Grand Admiral Thrawn with the blaster when he didn't even show up in the Ahsoka series with a blaster. But I had to go with this one because this one's just so uniquely done. And if you're a fan of the retro series, this one you will love as well. So it's the Darth Vader, and he's number 710 in the series. He, like I said, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive or Summer Convention exclusive with the green sticker, green and yellow sticker. But they used some of the techniques that they used for the retro series pops. So they painted on some different color red on there. But why this works for me for this pop and not the retro series. Like the retro series, I don't hate. I'm not a big fan of them for my own collection. But why it works for me for this one, and I mentioned it in my review, the red highlights on the helmet and his body represent the red highlights from the red lightsaber. That's the only light source in the hallway there. And then you got the red acrylic that is sculpted onto his cape to represent the red smoke from the hallway. So it just looks really, really awesome. And they did a really nice job on this one. I do like that they put the red acrylic smoke around his cape and kind of have it there. And it makes it look like it's floating at the front there. So great scene. That hallway scene from Rogue One is what this pop is from. And just an incredible pop. If you do like the retro series, as I mentioned, you will love this one. But this one's number 8 for me. Number 710, Darth Vader. Coming in at number 7 is one that I picked up really early on in 2024. I think it was the first Funko Pop that came out for 2024. It is number 694, the 501st Battalion Trooper from the Mandalorian wave, Mandalorian Season 3. He's from that flashback scene where you see Grogu being rescued by Keller and Beck, and you see a bunch of these guys. So that's what this guy's from. And he showed up in Canada early. Like, my friends in the States didn't get him until, I don't know, I want to say like February, maybe March of this year, where we had him up here in Canada. I think I got him early. I think I might have picked him up at the end of 2023. But he's technically a 2024 release because he released everywhere else in 2024. He's listed as a 2024 release, I believe, even on the Funko app. But yeah, this one's just a great looking 501st Trooper, and it's the only other real 501st Trooper. I think Phase 2 501st Trooper that we've gotten, other than that very high priced exclusive 501st in the hero pose. We did get a 501st clone trooper from the Ahsoka series from the flashback, but that one's like a Phase 1 trooper. But I do really like this one. The pose is great, and I love the blue and the white on the 501st. You got to have a 501st Funko Pop in your collection. So if you guys are still looking for that one, definitely try and pick this one up. It's definitely one you want to have in your collection. But that one's number 7 on my list. Coming in at number 6 is another Star Wars The Phantom Menace 25th Anniversary Funko Pop. This time it's a Battle Droid, number 703. And Funko does droids and aliens very, very well. And this one's no exception. This one's incredibly detailed. If you've seen the review on it on my channel, yeah, the details are crazy. Like it's painted only like one color with some scuff marks and stuff. So very simple too. But this one is on my list because we've wanted this one for such a long time. We've been asking for a Battle Droid Funko Pop for such a long time. They did a Battle Droid Wacky Wobbler years ago, so we knew that they could do it, and they did not disappoint with this one. It just looks great. The pose is great, and I do have a custom one that I will be reviewing in the new year, so stay tuned for that. But this one is, as I mentioned, number 6 on my top 10 list. Coming in at number 5 is one of the most recent Star Wars Funko Pops in my collection, and it's one of the most recent ones to come out just before the Ahsoka series. So this one is from Skeleton Crew, which is still on Disney Plus right now. You can go watch the first 6 episodes first 5 episodes by the time this video comes out. And this character is from the Skeleton Crew. So number 731, Kim. I thought her name was Kym just because the spelling on it, it's like Kymm. But it's Kim. So Kim is just one of the most detailed Star Wars Funko Pops that I've ever seen, and the entire Skeleton Crew wave of Funko Pops are just some of the most detailed Star Wars Pops I've seen. But this one's the most detailed out of that whole wave, in my opinion, and a great looking character. I hope we get to see more of her in the back half of the season. I'm sure we will, right? She's Jod's friend. She's or Jod's acquaintance, and she sent the Republic after him. So I'm sure we'll see her once again. She has her own Funko Pop, so she's a pretty main character. But yeah, check out the review, the full review on my channel. But just look at the incredible details with the sculpt work of the feathers, the fur, even her cape there at the back, that texture there. So that's why she is coming in at number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4 is the only Boba Fett Star Wars Funko Pop from the Fett Legacy Wave, and you've probably heard me mention this on the channel before, probably when I did the review. This one is by far my favorite Boba Fett Funko Pop now. Before, I think it was the Smuggler's Bounty one, which I just got this past year as well. But now it's this guy from The Mandalorian Season 2, where Boba Fett shows up and just kicks Stormtrooper's ass. This guy right here from the Fett Legacy Wave, as I mentioned, and he is number 734 in the series. Just look at him. He looks incredible. So that stance, first off the base, because the base isn't a typical black Star Wars base. But then, like, you got the rock and the grass growing there. You got him stepping on the stone while he's firing his knee rockets and looking towards you with his blaster out. Just such an incredible pose. And this is how Boba Fett is. Just such a badass character. And this is such a badass pose. And again, the details on this one are just insane. So definitely check out the reviews for all these pops that I'm mentioning. But this guy is coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, this one I put on my list at number 3 just because, again, the amount of detail in this character, and I love the redemption at the end of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. And then also because, again, Funko does such a fantastic job at aliens and droids, and this one is no exception. This one, yeah, incredible detail for this pop, this character. It is none other than IG-12, the Marshal, or Captain Canada, as some might call him because of the red and the white. But yeah, look at the incredible detail on all the mechanical parts on him. You can see like pistons in the legs and great sculpt work all the way around him. Just a great looking Funko Pop, great pose. He's got the blaster in the holster like a Marshal would. So fantastic looking Funko Pop, and yeah, just the droids and the aliens Funko really does extremely well. Check out the full review on this guy if you want to, but definitely this one is one that you want to add to your collection if you are a big fan of The Mandalorian or just droids in general. A great one to have in the collection. So this is my number 3 pick. And moving into my number 2 pick, this one I had flip-flopped around with my number 1 pick. They're both pretty equal in my opinion, but the reason my number 1 pick edged this one out, I'll tell you when I get there, but this one is none other than number 729, Darth Treya, and Gaming Greats. That is one line that Funko's been doing in collaboration with GameStops, because they're all GameStop exclusives. That's one line that's been consistently incredible. Obviously, there's some that aren't as good as some other ones. Like they're all great, but like some are way better than the others, and this one is one of them. With the pose, with the floating sabers, I love how they sculpted them into her torso, into her body, to make it look like the lightsabers are floating. But she's got 3 lightsabers floating. She's using the Force. I haven't played Knights of the Old Republic in such a long time, but this character is one that actually stood out as well. So I needed to get this one. Really needed to get this one. I love the pose on this one, and she's just such an interesting and, again, badass character. So great pose, great details. However, there's a reason she only made number 2, and that is because my number 1 pick is none other than Darth Malgus himself, the GOAT when it comes to Knights of the Old Republic. This guy's the one. When you say Knights of the Old Republic, this one's probably the most recognizable character from that era. Maybe a little less recognizable than Darth Revan, but I think this guy is probably the most recognizable character from that era of Star Wars, the games, the novels, and stuff like that. But the incredible detail on this guy, that's what pushes this guy over the top, or above Darth Treya. Just see all the incredible detail in his armor, his outfit, his face. Those red eyes are just they pop, and that's pure evil. Those red eyes. They could have done yellow Sith eyes, but the red eyes look fantastic. I think the red eyes really represent Darth Malgus. Such an incredible Funko Pop. So that is my number one pick. Again, reviews are on the channel. Check out the link in the description below to check those out. Let me know what you think of my top 10 Star Wars Funko Pops for 2024, and let me know which ones made your personal list. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then click to watch one of my other reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.